I'm Jackie, the creator and illustrator of Midnight City Tarot. This is a deck about New York City and it is available up on Kickstarter right now. So head over there, check it out, and I'm going to be going through a little bit of the inspiration, why I made this project, and a few of the cards that you'll find in the deck. So this box is a two-part box that has art that wraps around the back, so you'll see a preview of all of the major cards. And it opens to show actually the first street that I lived on when I moved to New York City, which was kind of the whole inspiration for this project. So I felt like it was very important to include that. And on the inside bottom, we have the subway entrance to Midnight City, which displays all of the subway lines that correspond to the suits and the majors. So I guess we'll start at the beginning with the Fool. This card was really the portal into this project for me. The whole concept really started about 6 years after living in New York City. I have a ritual every New Year's. I always get out my journal and reflect on the year. I do a tarot spread to kind of give me a sense of what to expect for the year ahead. And while I was doing this, I had this idea, like it really felt like the Ace of Swords, just like, and this was to make Midnight City Tarot. So that day I just got started sketching in my sketchbook and I drew out all of the majors that first day. Like everything just flowed. It was amazing to see how my experiences living in New York and the tarot just dovetailed so perfectly together, and I'm so excited for you guys to see that too. And the first card that I drew was, of course, the Fool. It just seemed so perfect to start there. I had this vision in my mind that I think came out just as I was imagining. Really vivid colors, and this also kind of sets the tone for the feeling of the rest of the deck. I created this art that breaks the border. I felt like that was really important to give the feeling that you're really immersed in the art and immersed in the cards, as if you were the Fool sitting on the airplane with all of your stuff that you need in your small carry-on, ready to embark on this amazing and wild journey. Those of you who are really familiar with the tarot will know it's definitely a wild ride. And we have the bridges extending out, inviting us into the city, and I just really wanted it to feel like that feeling that you get when you look at the skyline, and it's like almost as if anything is possible. It's just glittering with opportunities. And yeah, that's the inspiration behind the Fool. So let's move on to the Aces. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting going through all the cards. They look so cool together. I really love how the color palette turned out. Here are our 4 aces, and I'll start with the Ace of Wands. So this card, I really hear a sound when I look at this card. I really hear that strike of the match that we see in this art and that really hot flame. It just represents action and like you're about to make something happen. So we have all of your ingredients to make some candle magic, which is my favorite. I love candle magic. That may or may not be how I landed my first apartment in New York City. Up for debate, but a lot of that went into it. So we have our bodega candle and matches, and we're just ready to get into some spell work. So I feel like this is like a secretly really witchy card, in my opinion. So, and yeah, you'll notice all of the cards have the subway sign, and the wands are in pink, nice and hot and bright. And next we have the swords, Ace of Swords, which, like I said, this also really felt like the day that I had that feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna create this deck, that lightning bolt of inspiration. And I also hear a sound when I look at this art too. It really feels like that like pencil sharpening sound, and you see all the shavings falling down. You just feel like, oh my gosh, we've got the sharpness of the mind and this brilliant idea, and we've got a journal and we're gonna just sketch it out or draw it out and make this happen. So yeah, and we also have our little fire escape in the background. So I just imagine you're sitting in your apartment and looking out. It's a little rainy that day. It's the swords. It's not gonna be perfect weather all the time, but you've got your idea and you've got your journal and you're gonna make some stuff happen. And next we have the Ace of Cups, and I did want to say that the art might change a little bit, especially this one. And that is because I had this deck printed, actually just one copy, about 6 months ago, so that I could use the deck, work with the deck, and see how all of the art looked together when I did spreads. And that way I can make like slight enhancements just to really improve it and make it the best that it could be. So this one, I really felt like this Ace of Cups needed a little cup holder so that we're not holding a cup of scalding coffee or tea. We wanted something a little more cozy, I would imagine. So the Ace of Cups idea really feels like that self-care moment of deciding to like go out of your apartment and grab yourself a nice coffee or tea or a cozy beverage just to do some self-care and make sure you're really feeling like you're taking care of yourself and filling your cup. That's such a big message for me when I get the Ace of Cups. It's make sure to fill your cup. And also something really cute in this card that I want to share is this little Ace of Cups tattoo. It's a little teacup tattoo, which is modeled after this one right here that I saved up for so long, thought about for so long, and totally treated myself. It really was an Ace of Cups moment getting this tattoo. It was by this amazing artist. If anyone is interested in who it is, I can let you know. But she was going to be in New York City at a very prominent tattoo parlor, so it felt like that all came together very magically, and I was really, really, really happy to have this and happy to include it in the deck. I just felt like that was a really special little moment for me in New York, and I'm really hoping that all of those extra layers in the art come across, and I'm really excited to see how you guys feel when you start working with the deck and what kind of memories it brings up for you when you start seeing this art and working with it. And last we have the Ace of Coins, which is one of my favorites. All my friends who know me very well know that I like to pick up plants and acorns and seashells and all sorts of little natural objects when we go on walks. And I have a little collection of acorns from Prospect Park, which is where we are inside of this card. Because I lived right near Prospect Park for most of my time in New York, so I spent a lot of time there, and you'll see it depicted in a lot of the cards in the deck. So this really is that moment of just a seed of just huge potential. This tiny little acorn could grow into this magnificent oak tree, and I really wanted that to be conveyed. Like, here's your inspiration in the back to just keep going and nurture that seed. It has everything encoded within it to become this giant, beautiful, blossoming tree. And I also wanted to note that I changed the name of this suit from Pentacles to Coins, and I did that for a couple of reasons. One, because it's New York City, and coins felt right. Anybody who has lived in or been to New York City, you know how expensive it is, so that's half the inspiration for that. And the other half really is because Pentacles, if you're not used to tarot, can feel a little weird. Maybe it's a little bit of a sticking point. So Coins felt a little more approachable. And that was one of the main hopes for this deck, was that it would be great for someone who's starting to learn tarot, and just a really nice like entry point into learning tarot, and a very welcoming deck. So hopefully Coins make sense in both of those ways. And that's all we have for today. I'm so excited that this is finally launching. I'm really, really excited for you guys to start working with this deck, and I can't wait to see what you think of it. So if you're interested in learning more about the cards, just let me know down below, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you.